Did I ever tell you what the definition of insanity is? Insanity is doing the exact same fucking thing over and over again, expecting shit to change. That is crazy. Crazy. Crazy.
Insanity, according to Oxford, Webster, Cambridge, Urban, and Britannica, can be defined as extreme foolishness or irrationality, a severely disordered state of the mind usually occurring as a specific disorder. The condition of being very annoyed, angry, upset, or excited, often so that you cannot think or behave normally, or, in a legal setting, a mental defect that can relieve a person of criminal responsibility. In my opinion, insanity can be defined as an unwillingness to act rationally in a preferred setting. However, insanity throughout the ages of the world has been seen as a form of irrational madness and can be diagnosed when you commit acts that are naturally wrong but have no form or reason as to why it was done in the first place. As the world has developed, the definition has changed, and being insane at something can mean you are unnaturally good at what you're doing. Ultimately, insanity is not a fixed concept, but a reflection of society's values, evolving from a label of irrational madness to a term shaped by context, culture, and perspective. Why do you think insanity has so many different definitions across the academic, medical, and legal contexts?
I think it has so many definitions because it's defined by characteristic of each person. Each person has their own defined insanity within, I guess you could say, themselves because of the way they think and the way they act. And that corresponds to the way it's put out, whether it's being uh, school or related to legal aspects or related to the state of the mind. So that's my reasoning.
Historically, how has society identified or diagnosed insanity, and what kind of behaviors were considered naturally wrong back then?
Well, this question kind of hinges off of how far back do you want to actually go. If we're saying way back in 1800s, for example, things considered naturally wrong and would categorize you as mentally ill are things such as alcohol abuse and drug addiction. So then you would be sent off to a doctor that says that you're possessed and then cuts you to let the devil out of your blood. So versus modern day, they have remedies for this stuff and it's drastically improved.
Hmm. Historically, how has society identified or diagnosed insanity, and what kind of behaviors were considered naturally wrong back then?
I think it's just anything that's considered just out of like if you act out of maybe character, out of the ordinary, like um I feel like society kind of like or within our society you are kind of expected to act within a certain way, and I feel like if you go against that, it's you're kind of viewed as like someone that's pretty crazy or like mentally insane. Um
Mhm.
but I think is I don't think that that definition or the way we view it has changed all that much, especially like in like today's culture. It's still like the same where like um you know, you have your everyday person, and then if you see something that if you see someone that may be acting, out of pocket or just like way out of line within like a social setting, they're deemed as someone that might be insane.
Yeah, I agree. Um, do you think calling someone insane today says more about the individual or society's expectations of rational behavior?
In today's world, I feel like it's more individual definition of insanity because there's legal context and then there's a person's definition of insanity. So it says a lot more about the individual because there's different expectations of the person.
Ultimately, should insanity be defined by mental state, behavior, intention, or societal judgment?
I feel like a little bit of all. It's kind of sad nowadays, though, how insanity has gotten to mental judgment, though. There's good types of insanity, then there's also bad types of insanity. You know, some people's actions and behaviors can be dictated and judged by the social norms that we have today and by their mental state, because two and two go together. As I said, it will lead down left or right. And it's for us to pick which path it ends up in, which bubble. And it's just sad to say that all of these characteristics lead up into only one word: insanity.
I think to define it, it takes all of these aspects just listed, because your mental state will directly affect your behavior that you're having, and then your behavior will directly affect your intentions, along with your mental state will directly affect your intentions. So all of that stuff encompassed will create the societal judgment of you as a person. And using all of these things that are encompassed, that's how the court systems and hospitals tell if someone is actually insane, because those signs of where that person is at that actually categorizes them like that is what's judged. It's not just about one of these aspects being a core aspect of it. It's about all of it as a whole.
I mean, personally, I feel like insanity should be based off of someone, like, I guess their mental stability and their actions. I don't think it should be based around what we define it to be. Because I mean, I agree more with the clinical term for insanity than I do with what we as people collectively define it to be.
All these 5 words, they combine like it combines really well because they go in hand with each other. But if I had to choose what type of insanity it would be, or the type of category, I would choose mental state, because what because one can be insane for one day and be back to normal, or they can be insane for a long time. There's no saying. It's just a state. You can't really control that.
Do you think you're insane?
Define insanity.
I already did.
No, I'm kidding.
Do you think you're insane?
At Fortnite, yes.
All right.
This fucking guy. This fucking guy.